Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about global and local variables. Variables not bounded in any function are called global variables. Variables defined inside a function is called local variable. Global variables can be accessed from the whole program. Local variables can be accessed within the function in which it is defined. A function may use global variable, but its local variable can't be used outside. It means that global variable is defined outside or of all the functions, but local variables are defined inside a function. And global variables may be used from any function or main program, but local variables are used within the function in which they are defined. For example, a comma b is equal to 4 comma 6, def fun x, y is equal to twice of x plus 2, return y. Here we have defined a and b global variables because they are not defined inside the function, hence they can be used from inside the function and from main program. But the variables x and y are defined inside the function fun, and hence these are the local variables of function fun, and these can be used within the function fun. Here a and b are used in the main program because these are global variables. Global variables can be accessed from the whole program. This is another explanation of the global variables. Here we have defined a and b, the global variables, and used a from the function fun because a is the global variable, and hence we can use a in the function fun and also in the main program. Next, local variables can be accessed within the function in which it is defined. Here we have defined a function fun, and we have defined a and b as a local variable of the function fun, and hence these variables a and b may be accessed in the function fun only. And in the main program, if we are going to access the variable b, this will create an error because b is the local variable of function fun. Next, scope is the part of the program or code from which a variable is accessible. For example, the scope of the global variable is the whole program, and the scope of the local variable is the function in which it is defined. Here I am presenting an example. A is 10. A is the global variable, and we have defined two functions, disp1 and disp2. Disp1 has a local variable b, and disp2 has its local variable c, and hence disp1 can access only a and b because a is the global variable and it is accessible from the whole program, but b is the local variable of disp1 and b is accessible only in the disp1 and not from outside. Disp2 can access the variables a and c, and hence we have printed a and c in the disp2. A is the global variable and hence it is accessible from the whole program, but c is the local variable of disp2, so it is accessible within the disp2 only. Next, in the main program we have called disp1 and disp2 and printed only variable a because in main program only variable a is accessible, b and c are not accessible here. So the output will be 10, 20, 10, 30 and 10. Global and local variables may have the same name. Here we have presented an example where there is a global variable with the name a and also the local variable of disp function with the name a. In this case, the local variable is hiding the global variable a. This is the drawback of having the same name of global and local variables, and hence we should avoid the same names of local and global variables so that we can use the global variables in the function also. In this case, we cannot access the global variable a in the function disp because it has its own local variable a. So whenever we use variable a, its own local variable will be used from inside this function. But in main program we are printing a, that is the global variable, because main program can access only the global variables, not the local variable of any function. Modifying the value of global variable inside a function. If we want to modify a global variable from inside a function, we have to use keyword global. Here we are presenting an example in which we have defined disp function, and in the first line we have specified global a. That means we are going a variable a that is global variable and not its local variable. In the next line we are assigning 20 to a. This line will not create a local variable of this function because we have already defined a as global. So this line will assign the value 20 to the global variable a. In the next line we are printing a. This a will be the global variable because we have not defined the local variable of this function. So the program will run from the first line. In the first line global a is defined as 10. The next line is the definition of functions. So this definition will be skipped, and after definition there is a calling of disp function, and from this line the disp function will start running and global a will be modified and printed. After this calling there is again a printing of a in the main program, and this a will be printed as the modified value of the a because we have modified the value in the disp function. So 20 will be printed here also. Next, write the output of the following program. Here we have defined a global a and modified it in the function fun, and we have called the function fun and again modified the variable a in the main program and printed the value of a and again called the function fun. So the output of the program will be 15, 25 and 30 because in function fun we are using the global variable and in the main program we are using the same variable. Next, write the output of following program. A is equal to 10, def fun a is equal to 5, print a, and next we have called the function fun, and next we have modified the value of a by adding 10 to its value, and next we have printed the value of a, and next we have called the function fun again. In this program the function fun is creating its own local variable a, so it is not modifying the global variable, and hence there is only one changing in the global variable in the main program. In the statement a plus is equal to 10, this will modify the value of a as 20. So the main program's statement print a will print the global variable as 20, but in the function calling there will be a printing of 5 because function is using its own local variable a whose value is 5. So the output will be 525. These are the questions. You have to attempt these questions and we will discuss it in the next class. Thank you.